Well, that was a fucking game. You're listening to podcast 46, the most melancholic Bears fan NFL podcast out there, where we just stay at one level the whole time because the team has sucked all the life out of us. I'm just kidding. We're just yucking around here, but I'm Andrew. With me is Jake, as always, except for 2 weeks when he was living a better life across the sea. But yeah, it's the
Don't make me remember what could have been.
you could have been
Uh,
living in a different, better country. It
Better
doesn't care
land.
about football, the dumb
I
sport that is
know.
football.
They do like big men running at each other and tackling each other, but they don't wear helmets and they don't stop. They just keep doing it for like an hour. Actually, it's 90 minutes.
They're more that's rugby, right? That you're talking about.
That's rugby, yes, of course.
Do you remember the rugby team that was at school at ISU? Remember how there was one? I guess
I
is
mean,
what I'm
there's
asking.
generally like it's always like an intramural kind of.
Yeah, it's not D1.
It's like, there's no fun. It's just guys in a fucking on the quad running
Yeah.
around.
I
That's all
think
it is.
there's a
Just
women's
good,
rugby team too.
really. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The women go hard. The women go fucking hard. They're
Dude, they
building brick
probably
shit houses and they will
yeah.
lay you the fuck out.
Yeah, they probably fucking murder people, basically.
I mean, on the pitch. On the pitch, they do.
I think we used to play rugby in elementary school, or some form of it. Not that second graders would really understand the rules or intricacies of a foreign sport. It's not even that foreign. I know it's a big sport, but it's just not well known here, right? Same thing with cricket. Cricket's really big, but it's just not played here because we have baseball. But I just remember we played some form. It was probably more akin to an ultimate frisbee football type. But dude, we would, especially on days where we were only allowed on the blacktop because it was too icy or cold or whatever, dude. Kids would just fucking flatten each other at like
Yeah.
8 years
Just
old.
flatline the autistic kid while playing rugby. It's good. That's what you want to do.
Fucking this kid, the best part was when I've ever played any football and they for some reason would play quarterback. And I know
Ugh.
this is shifting for rugby, but I'm just thinking about schoolyard sports. And you get mad because Yassine, who's never fucking touched a football in his life, can't complete a 2 yard out to Luke.
Well, why is Yassine playing
I don't
fucking
know, dude.
quarterback?
I don't remember why. Maybe we were just because it was fun to maybe some kids just wanted to play wide receiver or something or do something different or sometimes teachers get involved and they decide to make rules that aren't fun, like, oh, you need to have a new quarterback every play or something that doesn't go with something that doesn't respect the game. They come up
To
with some
me,
rule.
it sounds like Yassine should be playing center. You want to touch the ball,
No,
Yassine? Here you go. Give it to
no,
someone better than you, and then they'll do something with it.
no, honestly, he probably could have been if he had understood football. He was pretty quick and pretty thin, so he probably could have been a slot receiver in the two hand touch
Or
football.
just
Dude,
running back.
this is a story that I love to tell, especially my buddy Austin was here for this. Who's Austin's my earliest friend that I have. He got me into football when I was younger. He was the guy who collected jerseys and cards and everything like that. His uncle gave him this huge. I think his uncle either used to work for a company like Tops or something, or he used to collect cards because he got boxes of football cards. He would give me all his doubles. That's how I got into football. We got football banned. Austin and I basically, and the kids we used to play with, we got football banned at our school for recess.
Why?
Because, dude, I mean, this is fifth grade, so kids are hitting puberty. The hormones are everywhere. We're getting really
Oh yeah.
competitive.
You were
A
already
lot.
6'1",
Yeah, I was already
as tall as you would
gigantic,
ever be. You were already
dude.
full size, a
I
full
know.
size man as a fifth grader.
I was a fucking grown man at age 12.
It's insane.
Yeah, I peaked early, essentially. But yeah, so I was Calvin Johnson. I used to say that about myself. I was like, I'm the Calvin
Yeah.
Johnson of playground football, backyard football. But essentially, what happened was I went up for a pass we played against these kids. It was basically the same group of like 10 or 15 guys, fifth graders who would play every day. And basically it was the same teams every day. And we really took it seriously. We really wanted to beat the other team because they were kind of a bunch of bullies and guys who just talked a lot of shit for 12 years old. And I remember, tensions were already rising between, it was kind of like the Crips and the Bloods, right? Playground football. But uh blood feud. But we went up, I went up for a pass, and we're playing on, it was really hilly area. Like the field, basically, it was kind of funny. It was kind of a weird environmental thing where you're playing on a flat surface and then it just goes up on a hill. So you have a wideout who is like all the way up here and nobody can see it,
Yeah,
but
so
they're up
picking
on a
sides really
fucking
mattered in this game. It
yeah.
seems like the coin toss was a big factor in the
Yeah.
success of your team.
Yeah.
When you for you to score a touchdown, you have to go up a fucking hill. It seems like the team that can go down a hill
Yeah.
has an advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, well, we were going this way, but like part of like the right side of the field was going up, was the hill. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
there was less hill on one half of the field than the other, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, there's a lot of uneven ground, is what I'm trying to say. And I went up for a pass and came down and I sprained my ankle. I actually still feel that sprain like 10 years later, because I think I just sprained it at a time where, where my body is changing a lot and I'm growing and whatever. I still feel the sprain constantly. Um but
Damn,
went up
if
for
it
a
weren't for that
pass.
sprain, you'd be 6'3". You were cheated.
Probably,
Cheated
probably,
out of
dude.
2 inches.
A solid 6'3 and 2/4, and the women would flock to me like Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but
I'm in that range. That's not how it
no,
works.
he's also good looking and rich, so that helps.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just I look like your fucking uncle, but at age 22, almost 23. But anyways, I went down for the pass, sprained my ankle, and there was a huge argument because I think I caught it, and then I think what happened was I dropped it out of. I went down. I think I was touched, and then I like threw it away because I was in pain, and then I went to the nurse's office, and essentially, like a whole argument like started, and like kids were calling each other the F slur, and they were basically fighting. There was one kid who started throwing punches because they were fighting over who had the ball, and so basically we got football. My buddy Austin will remember it much better because he remembers all my foils. He remembers everything that I ever did in elementary school, and
Yeah.
he'll bring stuff up to me, and I'll go, I don't remember that, and I think there's a reason why I don't remember it. Uh,
Blocked it out.
but basically kids got really homophobic and so football got banned, which is kind of funny.
Bro, in that era, it wasn't long ago where that shit was just flying left and right.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing. You didn't think anything of it. Did you
No,
ever play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2?
dude, those are
Bro,
legendary sessions. Those are
insane
they're still.
shit
You
was
can
said.
find some of my favorite videos to go laugh at when I need something to pick me up is to go and find. People will post their old lobbies from Modern Warfare 2,
God,
and just to go and find those and listen to those and just sound or hear how awful everybody is to each other is the best.
bro, that's just how the youth coped with the financial crisis. Is just take it out on each other on
Yeah, just
Modern Warfare 2
yeah,
lobby.
just be super fucking homophobic to
Why are my
everybody.
parents broke? I fucking hate my life. I didn't get my little Lego set I wanted. Life sucks.
Santa didn't bring me my new bike,
Yeah, pretty
so
much.
yeah, I love those memes where it's like, man, I really should have bought a house at age 8 instead of going to school or whatever. I should have had the
Yeah.
forethought to you know
I
buy
should have
a
been
house during the
independently
housing
wealthy at
crisis.
8
Yeah,
years old.
yeah, that's the biggest regret of my life, is not buying a house in age second grade.
Yeah. I guess we should probably get back to this fucking team.
Yeah,
This
I
team
know. It's
gets
so much
great.
more fun to just talk about dumb shit than this
Yeah.
dumb team.
We
But
do need to pivot this podcast to something that's not the Chicago Bears because they just sat my liver.
no, I think as this goes along, we'll get more into general NFL. But I mean, we're still
Holy
big
moly.
Bears fans, but it'll just be a conversational podcast that slightly touches on football topics. That's a BS report. if anybody ever listened to Bill Simmons' old podcast, his podcast used to start off with this podcast like is a recorded conversation of mature conversations and it touches on controversial topics or something like that. Because I think he brought on Obama in '09 or '08 when he was running,
Yeah.
and they talked about something and people hated it because he got political. And he said it was
Oh,
stupid that people got mad about it because, obviously having Obama on your podcast is a pretty big deal. Even '08, that legitimizes the
learn
podcast.
and stand, man.
But I want to hear about how Robert Horry is the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. I want to hear about the '86 Celtics. That's all. That's what Bill Simmons is known for. Is every conversation goes back to the fucking '86 Celtics. Although I don't think Robert Horry was on that team, but he does bring up Robert Horry a lot. Anyways, Bears lost. That's enough Bill Simmons talk. Bears lost 19-13. The
Back
worst
to
part
lose.
about today
Back
is unlike my cat decided to ambush me again. I just put his ass in my face when I'm trying to record
The
a
look on your
podcast.
face is just incredible.
Well, he doesn't understand. We're doing important work here. We're entertaining the masses, the 10 people that listen. Shout out to all my WZND buds, though, who came up to me and told me they listened this weekend. That was really nice. Anyways, 1913 Vikings over the Bears. And what I was trying to say is what sucked today was the game was always in reach. So what sucked about the Broncos game was we should have won that one, right? We let that slip away. But you
Yeah.
could feel us at the end coming back, and I almost let myself get hope and think that we could actually, with our backup quarterback in, I thought that maybe we could actually pull this one out, for lack of a better
No,
term.
man, the savior Tyson Bagent was there. He's the guy, remember? He's the fucking guy. He's the solution to
Yeah,
all our fucking struggles.
yeah. I hope people realize it's not Fields and it's not Page. Like I feel like hopefully this opens people's eyes up to the fact that our coaching and our organization structure is just fucking broken and our ways of thinking.
Both quarterbacks had no time in the pocket. Were
Hmm.
uncomfortable the entirety of the time that they played in.
Hmm. Well, and then also too that just you have a receiver, and obviously this is going to change, but you have a receiver. The attention is going to be put on him, but you have a guy who went off for 230 last week, and DJ Moore, and you just don't design plays for him. You know, it just the fucking play calling every week from Luke Getsy is astounding. The decision making, the decisions Eberflus makes is astounding. Our defense is fucking Teflon. Although 19 points is not that bad, they
No, but it was the Vikings without Justin Jefferson, and
yeah.
they were shooting themselves in the foot
Yeah,
as well.
they were definitely struggling. I feel like more than anything because Kirk Cousins had a lot of time to throw in the pocket. I just don't think. Obviously, losing a guy like Justin Jefferson is going to make things way harder on you. You know, but yeah, today was just rough, especially that last drive. That last drive felt like I shot myself in the foot. Even though the Bears were doing it to themselves, it felt like when somebody drops a really heavy, if somebody drops a weight on your foot or something. That's kind of what it felt like
Yeah.
that last
Dude, I mean,
drive.
this game had a couple of really funny moments. The Tyson Bagent fumble six was hilarious to watch, and that duck interception at the end was
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Well,
Just it's a couple classic Bears follies,
mhm.
just
What's
to
really
just to add to the collection.
I don't understand the decision making on that throw because you're
No,
I think the
I'm
idea
pretty sure there
was
was something underneath as well, and he just
well,
like
yeah,
let it rip for no fucking
yeah.
reason.
He had a couple hero. He had that. I think it was his third play of the game. What the fumble six that you're talking about, where
Yeah,
he was ducking defenders instead of a potential sack. Instead of just getting rid of it, he decided to try to be a fucking hero, and then he fumbled it for
yeah.
a touchdown. And my thing was, dude, there's like 2 minutes left. You're this is the point where you can kind of bleed out the clock because if you get a touchdown, kick the extra point. If you get a
Yeah.
touchdown, you tie the game, so at least you can play for overtime. And if you have Cairo, who's probably going to make the extra point, so the whole point is to try and get this down as low as possible, right? When they intercepted the ball, it was 151 left on the clock. That's how fucking close.
Made
Yeah,
no fucking
it
sense. He
was.
literally just ripped it right after the 2 minute warning.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
bro, you need to bleed time off the clock, you dumbass.
yeah, you like that was
What are we
such
doing?
a that was such a he is a rookie, but that is such a weird mistake for somebody like that. A guy who had success in college, a lot, it's D2, but the basics of football are still there. You still understand how to bleed out a clock. I don't
Situational football.
situational football, you have a running game, and you had a short intermediate passing game that was working, and then the drive before, and then you also have a running game that is bleeding the clock and getting a lot of yards. So why not just live another day? And it was funny too because he had that play on first down where he's getting run out of the pocket and he threw what I thought was him. I thought he was throwing it away. And then somebody came in and I thought it was the Vikings defender, but it was Tyler Scott. And it was a five
Oh
yard
yeah,
catch.
dude, that was
Uh
an asshole throw.
yeah, that was
That was like a prayer ball that Tyler Scott came back and made a play on.
yeah, good on Tyler Scott for that. That was
I know because he had a fucking horrible drop earlier.
yeah. I
Like he's
I
had drops throughout, but
yeah,
he
I
had a
thought
couple nice plays today.
I thought he had a nice game today. I thought because I actually noticed that he was out there today,
Yeah.
which is not to say a lot about him, but today I definitely saw him more than I probably wanted to because you want to see more of more, right? We keep saying
Yeah.
that. Dude, that fucking screen pass to DJ Moore that Darnell Mooney just decided not to block
What the
for.
fuck was Mooney doing? He just his
I don't know.
controller. He was
Did
just
he
standing there like an idiot. What are
yeah,
you fucking doing?
yeah, like where did you think the ball was going to you? Or did you think you were I feel like
Huh?
Mooney at least 5 times a game has a play
He
where
has
he has no idea what he's
insane
doing.
brain farts constantly.
Yes. Well, like does is I don't want to be rude to a guy, but is CTE like setting in for him or something already?
Imagine.
I don't
Bro.
understand why. And I mean, Cole Kmet does this too, and it drives me nuts because you're a fucking tight end. Your first thing should be blocking. How do you not know? How do you not know what your fucking responsibility is
I
on
know.
all these plays?
Because
Um,
I think the playbook is overly complicated.
it probably is. They
I
probably have
think
a
it's
lot of
just a lot of
variations.
bullshit because Luke Getsy's trying to be a fucking genius and it's way
Yeah.
overcomplicated. And these guys
Well,
can't figure out what the fuck they're supposed to do.
well,
That's
you have.
probably what it actually is.
Mhm. Well, yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
what I'm
Chase
saying.
Claypool never figured out what the fuck he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I think that
Not
guy
even
just
close.
he didn't ever give a
And there's
fuck.
so many goddamn brain farts. I think it's got to be the playbook. It's got to be the
Yeah,
terminology or
yeah.
something.
The only one
Also,
that ever,
Cody Whitehair's awful snaps. My God, that guy cannot
dude,
snap a fucking football.
I could not believe how awful he was
He
today at
sucks.
just snapping the ball. He had a lot of overthrows, right? So Fields had
Overs
to
and unders.
yes. How is that possible? How do you not know how to fucking snap a ball?
It
You're
threw off the
looking at
timing
him.
of the offense completely.
Oh my God,
When
yes, yeah,
fucking Fields has to field a snap like it's a goddamn rebound,
yeah. You're
that
losing
fucks off the timing of our route concepts.
every second matters in NFL. And when you're throwing off the timing that much, there's every millisecond matters, dude. That's how little the pockets are, and
And
rooms,
he's also not good at
room for
blocking,
success.
so
Well, yeah,
he
no,
fucking sucks. He's giving up
there's
interior pressure and snapping the ball over the quarterback's head. Like,
yeah,
fucking, what are you doing?
I I feel like he
Can we get Kramer out there or something? Can
yeah
he at least snap a fucking football? I know
yeah.
he's like,
It's
young, but
crazy.
Jesus,
10 years
what the fuck?
ago, 10 years ago, Whitehair must have been highly ranked by PFF because I don't understand why he's still, I think, pretty well thought of. And I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I just don't get
Fuck,
why
can't
he
snap.
is the way that he is. I he needs there's a lot of people that need to leave and get out of here. And I don't think Cody Whitehair is a bad person like Chase Claypool,
No,
but he's not good at football anymore.
no, no. It's
So
it's it's awful. I hate watching this team. I really.
well, it sucks because I thought our O line was really turning it around. Even Chase Young was really the only person that gave us issues last week, but that's Chase Young. He's kind of when he wants to play well, he's a monster. But I think Darnell Wright has been playing really well. Tevin Jenkins makes a difference in the run game. You can
Okay.
tell.
Yeah, huge
Um,
difference.
but I mean, a position on the O line that really doesn't get enough fucking credit or doesn't is way more than important than you probably think because everybody talks about the left tackle because of the blind side, right? It's center. Center is a very important position. If you can't fucking
Yeah.
snap the shit, what the fuck are you doing? That's how the play starts. Like it's insane. It's like a
Yeah.
pitcher. It's like a pitcher not being able to fucking get the ball over home plate.
yeah. I don't know, man. It's fucking unacceptable that he does this shit
Did they
like
bench him? I think they
fucking
benched
20
him.
times a game, 15
Yeah,
times a game. It's crazy
they benched him
how many
for
shit snaps there are.
yeah, they benched him for Lucas Patrick at the end, right? That's what happened.
They did, but he's out with a concussion, so fucking
Uh,
he's playing again. It's just a disaster.
yeah, it's man, I think center will definitely be center is obviously just the weakest part in the O line. I think the rest of the O line's pretty okay when Nate Davis is playing, and I know he got hurt today, and I don't want to pick on him because he's been playing very well, right? And he had a very tumultuous beginning to the season with his family and everything.
Yeah,
I think our O line was turning it around. It just, man, dude, it's so debilitating when I saw this meme where every time Justin Fields gets a snap from Cody Whitehair, he has to be Odell. He makes the Odell catch.
yeah, yeah. Pretty much. I, it shouldn't be this goddamn hard. It really shouldn't be this fucking hard,
No, no,
but it is.
no, because the Bears just shoot themselves in the foot. It's a
The
lot of
penalty.
overthinking. And we were talking about this with we're talking about this with the playbook. I just think there's just a lot of overthinking on a lot of. I mean, we give up 60% of the third downs because we play prevent defense, and
It's
then
just awful.
we don't formulate why isn't every play just is DJ Moore not our number one option on these plays? I don't fucking get it. Why don't you
It
scheme him
doesn't make
open?
sense.
Why don't you scheme and he gets open by himself? Don't get me wrong. Why don't
Yeah,
you scheme him more open? Make him the number one person so Fields knows to look for him and just be like, okay, well, he's gonna be in the flat. He's gonna be the crosser. I don't
I don't
fucking
know why they don't put him in the fucking backfield ever. It's like if you're gonna be creative, put him in the fucking backfield and
mm-hmm.
have him literally run like a running back route tree and
Dude.
see what kind of matchups you can get. Try and get him matched up on a fucking linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Do something interesting if you're supposed to be a fucking offensive genius.
Yeah.
He
Just
does nothing. They don't let him do anything interesting at all.
no. I
They don't
I
even
just
play him out of the slot, really.
No, he would be an awesome slot receiver because
It'd be
you
insane.
you throw him a 5 yard crosser or whatever, he can fucking turn that shit 50 yards. I just why don't you do a Mike
Never
McDaniel?
run slants with him.
Yeah,
Like,
never
you
run
telling me
slants.
DJ Moore can't run a fucking slant?
Yeah, just use the Madden playbook, dude. I give a lot of love to Mike McDaniel, and I think I've talked about him a lot. But Mike McDaniel, literally, his entire offense is just throw the ball to Tyreek every play or Jalen
Pretty
Waddle.
much.
Like it just
That's the point of getting these goddamn
yeah,
receivers is that you
they're
throw the
gonna be
fucking ball to them.
open. They're gonna be fucking open. I don't care. I don't care if he went off for 230 and you think that he's gonna be double covered, triple covered. Dude, Calvin Johnson was covered all the time by like 8 guys, and Stafford constantly went to him because he's the best fucking player on the goddamn field
Yeah.
in most of the
It's
games, and he can go up and get it.
it's just gross.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
like that.
yeah. I
Make it so
Velas had a nice couple returns today. That's something
like
nice I'll
also
say.
quite the fucking debacle that we got lucky on. What the fuck
Yeah.
was that? Where he fucking pulled it out to the 10. And then he had another one where I think he did something
Yeah,
stupid.
that was so dumb. Even I know that they came back on that. That was a kickoff, I think. Um,
Yeah, we
and they
got
said,
fucking lucky on that one.
yeah,
That was a gift.
it was like, okay, that ball is landing. You didn't touch it. It's landing in the end zone line. Why are you picking it up?
Because he's a fucking bozo.
Yeah, he
It's
had a
clear he's not it.
no. Stop using him on
It was not a
offense
good
too.
pick.
Every time he's on the fucking field, you know it's going to him. Stop fucking using him on offense.
He had
He
one good
at
run
least
today.
he had one good run. Yeah, he's had one good run like his entire career. I
Pretty
don't
much.
I don't think he's a bad guy
Every
either. He's
oh,
very you can tell he's very fast. He's a very fast player, and I think that's why
he's
they're so
fast. That's
obsessed with him.
about it.
He's just a gadget player. He's not anything. He doesn't do
Yeah, he's
anything
not even the
well.
greatest. He's not even close to being a Tariq Cohen tier gadget player. Not
No,
even
yeah.
fucking close.
I didn't even
Not
like
even close.
I didn't even like watching Cohen play because you knew it was
Oh,
going
and
to
he
him
was
every play.
fucking exhausting to watch sometimes.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
did like him. But there were quite a
I
few
liked him
negative
too.
plays.
Yeah, I liked him too, but he was another example of just overusing somebody and making it obvious that you're going to be using
He was
him.
the only thing that made Nagy's offense kind of work. So
Yeah,
when Tariq
yeah,
Cohen was gone, Nagy had nothing. He was like,
yeah.
"Oh fuck."
He was a
Trey
D.
Burton
Anthony.
and Tariq Cohen were the two guys that made his offense kind of work. When they were
Mhm.
gone, he was fucked.
Yeah, that's when the wheels began to come off. D'Anthony Thomas, I think, is a guy. Here's a guy. Remember him? He went to Oregon. He was a super gadget player in college, and he was on the Chiefs. I think he was on there long enough to be there when Nagy was there, and I think Nagy just tried to make Tariq Cohen D'Anthony Thomas. Basically, everybody has just tried to make like these shitty Bears running back, wide receivers, people, guys who don't really have a position but they're fast, just try to make him D'Anthony Thomas. You know?
Dude, yeah, I know. Matt Nagy's entire thing was just like, let's have Tariq Cohen throw a touchdown.
Yeah,
Let's have
yeah,
the fucking shortest guy in the NFL
dude,
throw a
five
fucking
six.
touchdown.
That guy was probably like 5'4" too. Like honestly, like he
I
was
don't think he
probably
was
not.
that short. I think he was legit 5'6".
Yeah,
You don't need to shave any inches off the man.
yeah, it's funny to think that a guy that short though is was in the league for a while.
Fucking
Not
Deuce
for a
Vaughn's
while,
even
but
shorter.
yeah, true.
He's on the Cowboys. He's
Yeah,
5'5".
yeah, he's on there because of his
He
dad
looks
though.
hilariously
I
tiny.
think
Like Tariq never looked that small.
no, no. Darren Sproles was small too, but Sproles was built like a truck.
Yeah,
So
and Cohen was jacked as well.
who was the fucking guy with the goddamn big ass legs that was on the Falcons for a few years? Do you know what I'm talking about? The running back? I don't think he was small, but I just remember his gigantic, gigantic quads.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to look up the 2011 Falcons, which is not a team I like to think about.
yeah. Man, I can't remember. MJD was another guy like in that
Oh,
same.
dude, I love
He
MJD.
was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many plays, where he would just be in like a gaggle, just there'd be like 10 guys on the line and he would somehow like just fight through for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That shit was
He
awesome.
was
He was so
super
good.
otherwise.
He's still on he writes for NFL.com, I think now, and does the
He
NFL
does.
Network stuff. Steve Smith
Huh.
does NFL Network too. Did you see that the other night
Yeah.
when
He got
he
into
threw?
some feud with Jerry Judy,
Yeah,
who
I
threw
love
him
that.
for three
Dude,
catches for 14 yards. So
dude,
funny.
imagine fucking with Steve Smith. That guy was a fucking
He was a
nutcase.
menace. He
Yeah,
was
he
an
was a
actual pit
yeah,
bull on the field.
yeah, he was Michael Turner. That was his name, by the way. Huge legs. Oh, he's from Waukegan. Wow, that's fun. That's cool.
Wow.
I'll show you a picture real quick. But yeah, Steve Smith was a menace. Is he a congressman? Or is that another guy? Because now it's coming up.
Common
Uh,
name.
yeah, true. That's funny. I don't know why that's the first option, but yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, Steve Smith was a fucking nutcase. I love Steve Smith, but he was a nutcase.
Yeah, he was whining.
Yeah, I mean, I'm showing pictures of Michael Turner to Jake right now. So if you want to Google, and see those pictures, his quads
Yeah.
really look gigantic on like playing. Like I don't know if those pictures really do it justice. Definitely when you would see him run, you could just see the gigantic quads that he had, or the whatever his thighs or whatever. He was really fun. He was kind of a Ezekiel Elliott type where he never had big runs, but he could just kind of like just get your defense really tired,
Wear him the fuck out.
wear him down. And Ezekiel Elliott is probably not a great example, but he's just the most recent one I can think of.
Zeke
Uh,
was pretty insane his first year.
yeah. Oh yeah, he was
And at
awesome.
Ohio State. His best years were at Ohio State. Like he should have been in the NFL when he was in Ohio State.
Hmm. Well, that's just the running back thing. You just get so overworked, especially Zeke
Oh
was
yeah.
very much even.
Urban Meyer just gave Zeke the ball
Oh yeah, just
basically every play.
yeah. I think
He
he
won that
also.
national championship. Like he
I
was just give Zeke the football.
I gotta look at how
He'll
many.
get hit by 15 guys and we'll score.
Yeah, I gotta look at how many carries he had because there's this whole thing about the 300 carry club, where if you have
Mm-hmm.
300 carries or whatever, you're basically fucked. That
Pretty
happened
much.
to that happened
Your
to
name is Walter
DeMarco.
Payton. You're pretty much fucked.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
get 300 carries.
I want to say, yeah, he had 322 his first year, and that was his best year by far.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and then he was hurt the next year. And then the next year he had another 300 carries, and then never really came back to prominence. But I was going to say DeMarco Murray. That was the earliest example. I remember people bringing that up because that was DeMarco Murray, like 2012, 13, 14 range. that was when people started really thinking differently about the running back position and, drafting running backs really high and paying them a lot of money. And that free agent, he was going to be a free agent for the Cowboys, and he had 300 something carries. This was the year that they lost to the Packers because of Dez's not catch. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so he had 300 something carries, and then I think he signed with the Eagles the next year, and he was just a shell of his former self. DeMarco Murray was awesome the first couple of years of his career.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many great running backs that have had their moment,
Todd
and they,
Gurley
they
is
get forgotten.
29,
I know,
and
dude.
he's not
Todd
playing.
Gurley was fucking on top of the world for a year
He
and
was
a
an
half.
MVP candidate
I know, and then he just it, you know,
because that was the earliest
when
McVay
it comes at
teams.
you fast, his knees are
Yeah,
fucked, and then it's
especially as a
over.
running back, dude. There's so many guys older than Todd Gurley, and then you look at it and you realize, oh no, Todd Gurley is still a young man. 29 is not old, dude.
29. Yeah, this guy was born in 1994. He's fucking broken down like he's 62 years
Yeah.
old.
He played a lot less time than you thought he would because it felt like he was around forever, but he was only playing from 2015. He only played for 5 seasons.
Yeah, the average player it's three.
He's in that fan controlled beasts or fan controlled football league that I told you
Oh
about.
man, that's a fall off.
Yeah, that's
That
what
is awful.
Johnny Manziel does that because Johnny Manziel doesn't want a real job. you know,
No, he does not want a real
he
job.
just wants the NIL money. Well, I don't think it's NIL technically because he's not in school anymore, but he just likes to have his name on things.
He's Johnny
Or
Football Man.
yeah,
He's just pushing beers and slinging a football to plumbers.
you honestly got to respect it, dude. He just did not give a fuck about football after he got into the league. He was like, I made my money.
He made so much goddamn money in college; it was
yeah,
insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, allegedly, right?
Alleged. There's nothing alleged about it. It was
Oh,
fucking. It happened.
yeah.
They made up
uh,
like rumors about his parents being fucking rich so that they could get away with it. Like,
yeah.
no, they were just paying Johnny Manziel. Like, he was just being paid.
I think I think he was like didn't he got suspended, I think, for half a game for some autograph. So
Yeah.
he like sold an autograph or he was, allegedly sold an autograph. And that at the time was against the NCAA bylaws, but he was suspended only for half, which is some bullshit.
College football's so fucking weird.
Yeah,
It,
it's kind of I
it's so
really
weird.
don't like it, dude, most of the time.
A lot of it's annoying.
Yeah.
Especially like, oh, if you catch a football and your knee is down, it's over. Even if you weren't touched, you can't get up and run. No, knee was down. It's so whack.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It really takes away the fight from the play, you know? What's the point? I don't know. They do have a better catch rule, I'll say.
Yeah, I like the 1 foot in. That's
I think the
cool.
1 foot is good because honestly, I mean, these guys are putting in a lot of effort. I think 1 foot is more than fair, you know.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and then their overtime used to be better. I think it's gone backwards because of it's just like 2 point conversions now.
Yeah, it gets to a point where it's just cartoonish. But hey, the game needs to end.
Well, it used to be, getting touchdowns. I think you'd start at like the 45-yard line or something. Um, but then they changed it to 2 point conversions, which was just so fucking boring. I don't know. But it's how you get. What was it? Oh, that nine. I think it changed because of that 9 overtime game between Penn State and Illinois two
Oh
years
my
ago.
god, that
The
fucking game was
the
insane.
the greatest game.
Treated
Uh,
yet hated the greatest game on that one.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So I like the overtime better because I think in the NFL is still, if you score a field goal on your first drive, the other team can come back. But if they score a touchdown, like it's over
It's over.
on either drive. So if you score a
No,
touchdown on your
isn't it?
first.
Didn't they change that now, or is that just playoffs?
No, so I think in the
It's
I
just the
don't know,
playoffs.
dude. I gotta look it up. I know they changed it so a field goal didn't end the game right away. Um, but I think it's still if you score a touchdown at all, it's over, which is
Well, yeah, but
stupid.
because of that Bills Chiefs game, they did some bullshit. Because everyone's, oh, Josh Allen didn't
Yeah.
have a chance to go and score. like,
So
yeah, that's the fucking rules. It
says
sucks.
it says each team must possess or have the opportunity but to possess the ball. The exception is if the team gets the ball first, scores a touchdown during the opening possession. So yeah, that's lame. I honestly wish the overtime period just acted like a normal football game, or fourth
Mhm.
period instead of first score wins. If a team, I mean, if somebody scores, the other team should get a chance to stop them, right? But then they can also punt it back, and the other team can score another touchdown if they want. You know, like when you're in when you're this is different because the home team in baseball, if you score more runs in the bottom of the ninth or the 10th or the whatever extra innings, you win automatically, right? You only have to score one more. But the visiting team can score as many runs as they want, you know? So I wish it was some form of that.
Well, they just need the game to end. It's too fucking physical. These guys are getting beat
Yeah,
up.
I
You
know.
can't have them playing like an extra 20 minutes. That's
In
just
a
crazy.
perfect world, it'd be like that.
And
But
when they have 17 fucking games, it's just too much.
yeah, the other team should get an opportunity to score a touchdown, though. If the team does in the first possession. I know that they play with the same rules, but I don't think that would be terrible because that's still a lot of pressure, having to score a touchdown, and then maybe a team goes for two and tries to end it there. That's what you could do is if a team scores a touchdown on the opening drive, they can kick a touchdown or they can kick an extra point or go for two, and then the other team can come back, right? Who
Yeah.
probably I don't know if they, I don't know, and maybe they can decide to uh, tie the game and go for the tie, or they have to go, some situation where they have to go for a 2 point conversion. Otherwise it's a tie or they lose. You know, some way to base it around that. So at least it's a little more fun because that Chiefs game, I know people were pissed about calling the Bills cucks and everything and saying they were soft because they were complaining. But like I did want to see Josh Allen get the ball back. That game was so epic. It sucks to not be able to see him retaliate, come back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This isn't our job to give the NFL free ideas. They don't pay us. They never responded to my media pass request. So
Yeah.
dude, my
When did
somebody
you
I
get that
work
one?
with,
Got that a
some
couple weeks, huh?
yeah, I don't think we're gonna get
Yeah.
it. We're not gonna get anything about it. I
Don't care
do.
about the little guy, huh?
There's a kid I work with who has a NASCAR podcast, and he has a media pass for NASCAR. But I don't know how much. I don't know how like competitive it is to get that. So the guy can dream though.
NASCAR, you can pay money to fucking be taken around the goddamn track in one of the fucking NASCAR.
Do you remember that commercial? I think it might be a Sports Center commercial where it's the Michael Vick experience.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That would actually be kind of sick if something like that ever happened.
Universal Studios. I'm gonna get jerked around.
That
I'm
is
here with
basically
Flash,
that's the appeal of all of the theme parks.
pretty much. But
All
yeah,
right.
Mike.
Yeah, dude. All right. That's the end of the Bears talk, I think, for this episode.
Yeah, my soul has died. It's over. What
Yeah, we should mention, I think Justin Fields, we're recording this Sunday night. His hand, he hurt his hand today, and that's why Bagent came in, Bagent. But his X-rays were negative, but they're doing an MRI tomorrow. I hope it's just a sprained wrist, so he's only out a couple weeks because I I won't be able to live in Chicago if people are seriously calling for Tyson to be the starting quarterback. Um, so I'm hoping it's just a sprained wrist, but we will find out probably tomorrow. And he's definitely going to be out the next game because that looked like a pretty severe injury. So I'm sure it will at least be sprained. I'm hoping for the best, but we can move on to our picks.
Yeah,
All right, Jag Saints.
Jags Saints. I'm looking to take the Jags.
Okay. I'll take the Saints. Whatever. Steelers, Rams.
I'm gonna take the Rams.
Okay, I'll take the Steelers. That's who I wanted to go with, anyways. And then we got the Lions and the Ravens.
I'll take the Lions.
Take the Lions, dude. People are thinking that they're seriously they're taking them seriously as a title contending team. I'm gonna take the Ravens, but
I mean, I don't think they're gonna actually contend for a title, but they're one of the best teams. They're probably a top three team in the NFC.
yeah, I'm very impressed with them so far. I thought they were gonna be good, but I didn't think they were gonna be this good this early in the season. But
Yeah, no, they're fucking hard. I like them.
knowing them, they'll eventually taper off and it'll destroy Lions fans.
Yeah, they'll have a fucking. They're gonna falter. They're gonna fall. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
Well, that's what happened. Remember the first Lions season that was really good in 2011 when they went to the playoffs. I think they started 5-0 and they ended up like 10-6
Yeah, that's kind of what they do.
and the loss of the Saints in the playoffs. So yeah,
Yeah, I
I
don't think they
picked
won the Super Bowl, but hey, they're better than they've been.
they're better than the Bears, which is not hard. So
Way better than Bears.
all right, this one, the next two games I'm actually really excited for. Chargers Chiefs.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs, I guess.
All right, I'll go with the Chargers and then Dolphins Eagles.
Oh, mamma mia!
Yeah. How do you lose to fucking Zach Wilson Eagles? Come on. What is you doing, baby?
Did they actually do that? I didn't pay attention. They lost to
Dude,
Zach Wilson.
yeah, I think
That
I
is the
think Jay
Jets' first victory against the fucking Eagles ever.
yeah, that's insane, dude. I think I saw that.
That's
Um
crazy.
yeah, that's
Zach
it's
Wilson's who
nuts.
did it. Okay, I get.
Yeah. Well, Jalen Hurts threw a almost a bit he threw a close to a pick six. It gave them
Nice.
really good field position, and I think Zach Wilson had a game-winning touchdown technically. I
Wow.
don't know really. I gotta look at the stats. I gotta see how well he actually did. Um, because he's basically a wet blanket at quarterback. So you kind of have to, yeah, he was 19 of 33 for 186 yards. So pretty hilarious stat line, honestly. But Brees Hall had 39 yards and a touchdown, and Gary Wilson had 8 receptions and 90 yards. So, you know, Jalen Hurts had 3 interceptions. So there you go.
Jesus,
Yeah, just
that's a
really,
rough performance.
yeah, just really
Dude,
fucking
quarterback play this year has not been good.
no, across the board,
Across
really.
the board, it's been bad.
Yeah, even Mahomes is not having the best year. I know his receivers are really bad,
No, his
but
receivers stink.
he's had some throws that are really out of character. That Jets game, I think he had 2 or 3 picks, and it was just bad. Even with bad receivers, there were some unforgivable throws in that game. So,
Yeah.
but that Broncos game was pretty hilarious. That was the best cover of this. That was the most hilarious cover of the season so far.
God.
Because I think the Broncos went in as 10.5 point underdogs. And the Chiefs went for a field goal instead of just like punting it back or just trying to get the clock to stop running. They fucking went for a field goal because it was 16-0, so the cover was there, right? Um, and then they scored a touchdown, a 2 point conversion to cut the lead to 8. So the Broncos covered, and
Yeah,
then the Chiefs went for the field goal. Like it was almost like Andy Reid had a bet on the game.
he might have. Yeah.
He might have, dude. Honestly, with the way that everybody is just coming out and we're finding out that people are betting, who knows? I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying with the climate of today, you never know.
The
I'm
fuck
just
was that?
I'm
I
asking the question. Huh?
Dude, I'm watching the fucking Bills Giants game, and I
Oh
think it was
yeah.
Stephon Diggs just started running down the fucking field, and everyone was still on the line, and he's the only person, and he took off a good 10 fucking yards down the field.
Was it a false start? What was it?
Yes, it was a false
Yeah.
start.
Okay. I don't have that game on
Oh
because I
God,
can't stomach the fucking Giants on prime time anymore. It is
they're
so
ugly.
overdone.
They're winning currently against Buffalo
Yeah. What's the
in the
score?
second quarter. 3-0. Josh
Okay.
Allen 3-14 right now.
Yeah. He's probably still jet lagged from England,
He's running for his life,
which I didn't realize today
throwing a
was
deep ball.
I didn't
It
realize
was
today
almost
was
a pick. Dude, the quarterback play has just been
yeah.
trash.
Everybody's like we're in a better place with quarterbacks than we ever have been. And it might be true, but I think the stats kind of make it look like that more than anything. I don't know if the quarterback play is actually good.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are really playing situational football or trying to just throw the ball away. I don't know. Just Josh Allen too. Just will go on heaters where he's the most unstoppable player on the planet, and then he just becomes a utter fucking moron. You know.
Yeah.
Um.
Honestly, Justin Fields is kind of in the same boat. It's where he just becomes
Yeah.
unstoppable, and then he just like throws it into the back of his own
Yeah.
player's helmet. It's the same kind of shit
Or yeah.
where he's either the best player in the NFL or he cannot throw a
Yeah.
football.
Or
There's
that
no in between. It's just insane.
that interception today was all time just
It was bad,
dumbassery.
but it wasn't even really his fault. It was a fucking duck
I
because
know,
his
but
offensive lineman couldn't block, and he got hit as he was throwing it.
that's just how it looks when it's not going well for him, though. You know what I mean? That's
Oh
kind
yeah,
of just what
it's just they
happens.
always look horrific. Every
Mhm.
pick looks awful.
Yeah. There's never a pick where I'm like, okay, you can kind of, that Mahomes pick six in the opening game, right? That was in the guy's fucking hands, right? It was a dumbass and dropped it. But with every one of Fields' picks is just like, dude, why do I support this man? And then he goes on a heater like he did the last 2 weeks, and you're like, oh yeah, he can cook, you know?
He's voted.
Yeah, there's something different, and somebody I think Double Doink, who I've told you about, and I've quoted on. He's a really funny Twitter account that I read. Who's a Bears fan, and he's he hides behind the shadows, but he's really funny. He said something about rooting for Mitch and rooting for Justin is two entirely different concepts and feelings. Because with Mitch, you just rooted for him because he was the Bears quarterback and that's your favorite team. Even when he did well, it was kind of all right. Well, he sucks. Good for him, but he sucks. With Fields, you root for him because Fields can cook and you can see the talent there.
Yes.
So
Ugh,
did you say he was going to win Dolphins Eagles? I don't even know.
I did not say, oh, I'll fucking pick the Dolphins. Go Florida.
All right, I will pick the Dolphins as well. It's the one pick that we have that's the same. So if I go down, you go down.
Okay.
No, we have different picks for every single one, which the only one that we had not different picks last week, for last week was the 49ers. We picked the same for that one, and they lost today to the fucking Browns. So we'll see how this one goes for us. You are kicking my ass this week. We still have to find out about Monday, but you're up 3-1 right now on the week, which will put you
Good.
at least at, I gotta add I gotta add last week, but I'll figure it out. We'll talk about it next week. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody listens this far anyways. So,
Minutes and turn it off.
uh, yeah. All
I
right.
didn't
Well,
even want to do this fucking thing. Like, can you imagine someone actually wants to listen to it? I mean, this team sucks. They've sat my will to live.
mhm.
It's
It's
watching them as homework. It's hard being a Bears fan.
that Joe Para bit where uh
Oh, yes.
where he's like, the
The
Bills
Buffalo
suck.
Bills. Oh
Yeah.
my god! I can go like just talking about all the great things you can do other than
Yeah.
watching the Buffalo Bills. After Terod Taylor, no, it was EJ Manuel
Yep.
was the
Yep.
quarterback at the time of that bit. Oh
Yep.
my god!
Yep. Yeah, dude. Just thinking about we were at homecoming at ISU and we stuck around for the weekend and we went to pub. Anybody, who's an ISU Redbird knows what pub is. Went to pub and I was asking him, he's a twin, and I asked him where his brother was. He's like, oh, he's out with his girlfriend. I think they're at the pumpkin patch today. And I literally thought of the Joe Para bit when he said that.
Oh my god!
As we were
Yeah,
going to watch the Bears game, I was like, Joe Para was right.
yeah, dude. There's so many better things you can do than watch
I know.
football.
I know. Football it's such a beautiful sport, but when it's going bad, it
When it's
it
not
is the
going your
most.
way, it reminds you that there's so much more to life than this
Yeah.
stupid
Well,
fucking game that we dedicate so much time to watching.
there's just something about bad football that is worse than almost any other sport, and how
It's
backbreaking it is. Just not even bad football, just if a team, loses a lead or, whatever, when you lose in football, it feels so much. I mean, it's obviously because of the less
so
games.
there's less games, so every fucking game matters so much more.
Yeah, it's
So
ridiculous.
losing is just utter despondency.
Yeah, it's
Whereas in baseball, it's like, oh, well, get up next time. Buster,
yeah,
there's a 7 game series. Yeah, 1932.
that's baseball.
That's baseball.
Oh, this kid shit himself. Well, he's gonna go back out there in an hour and a half.
Buy some overpriced concessions. The game's
Yeah,
canceled because of a rain delay. Come back tomorrow.
your wife cheated on you. Well, that's because you're a cuck. That's baseball.
baseball.
That's
Two
baseball.
people got shot in the stands. Keep the game going. That's baseball.
That is, dude, I already forgot about that. That's how much pain the White Sox gave me this year.
That was just a fucking footnote.
People got shot at the White Sox game in the seats that I was at maybe a week before.
Yeah,
What's
pretty
just going
much.
on? And they tried to say that the bullet came
Chicago's
from
going
outside.
on.
They tried to say that the bullet came from outside the stadium too. That it
Such
just
a goddamn
fucking
lie.
it
Just the exact.
traveled.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, sure.
Well,
Someone in a Kia Rio just drove by and started shooting into the fucking
yeah.
stands. No, it happened in the goddamn
They
stands.
they directly shot up. They shot straight up, but at a slight angle, right? And it somehow traveled 500 fucking feet or whatever. However, you have to be outside the stadium, right? For
All
this
right.
story to work. So they shot outside the stadium. They shot up to an angle, and it somehow went up and then went back down, but then also went fucking horizontal to get somebody in the fucking leg.
Yeah.
And also, it's
Seems plausible.
it's I don't know what's funnier, the fact that they think that the bullet came from outside the stadium, or that woman stuck it in her fucking fat. That was the other story.
That's so
That's what
funny.
the cops were saying, was that she snuck it in her belly fat, in her belly rolls, I think was the exact
Fucking
term they
gut
used.
fat.
Her
Oh my
fat rolls.
God.
It's
That is such a Chicago fucking headline.
Yeah.
I
I put
what? A
hey,
discovery.
be
Fucking the Glock is in the fucking gut.
be careful. I put a bomb in the beef au jus.
Oh, God.
Yeah, dude. It's funny. It's funny being a Chicago sports fan, and just living in Chicago right now is really great too, because you have so many differing sort of attitudes towards the city right now. I saw somebody on Twitter that was like, Chicago's the last great city because it's affordable, you have transit, all this other stuff, and then everybody else is like, it's a fucking war zone.
It is a war zone. It's fucking crazy. But
Yeah. It's also like relatively safe though. It's weird
it is.
compared to
It's
other
both
cities.
things.
Yeah, I love Chicago. It's so You're talking about Bloomington Normal being gray. Uh and everything. Chicago's bipolar, like Bloomington Normal is depression.
It is pure
Chicago
depression.
is bipolar disorder.
Yeah. Manic depression. That's what it is. It's manic depression. Bipolar disorder.
Yeah, it's
Good
awesome.
times.
It's awesome. All right. I think we're at the end of this fucking
Yeah,
podcast. I don't want to
there's
talk.
nothing left to say. I hate everything. Goodbye, people.
Yeah. This is the first episode we haven't gone over an hour, and I think that's fair. This game just was a
Fine.
wet fart.
End it. Yeah, it was a wet fart. It stinks.
Stinky.
It's probably gonna be worse next week.
Yeah.
See
Well,
you, folks.
who are we playing next week? I think no. Who are we playing? I was gonna say
Maybe.
the
Which
Giants.
God, that might be one of the worst fucking games of the year. Bears Saints might be just
Oh,
absolutely
dude.
horrific.
Yeah, it's just two teams that are just Oh wait, no. Oh, dude, this fucking Google is so unhelpful nowadays. I'm trying to. It like won't show me that next week is. Oh, it's the Raiders next week.
Ugh.
We play the Saints in
Well, that game's
November.
gonna suck ass too.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna
Jesus.
get to watch Eastern Illinois' own Jimmy G.
Jimmy G and fucking Josh McDaniels. What a brain trust.
Dude, McDaniel's versus Eberflus, matchup of the century.
Fuck.
The
Oh.
unstop. I said this about like four different Bears games already, but it's the unstoppable force versus the movable object, or the stoppable first
The
force.
stoppable force versus the movable object. It's so fucking bad.
All right. Well, you can follow us and stuff. I don't know. Check the description for the links. I'm tired. This game was bad. I don't know. Just
See you,
fucking
folks.
go see your family. Go see your family. I mean, we're gonna keep doing this, but just you know what? Don't watch the game. Listen to us complain while you're doing your yard work or something. To use a nostalgia critic phrase, I remember it so you don't have to. So I'll watch it so you don't have to. But yeah, dude, fuck it all. Goodbye. Stay
Bye.
safe.